Hi, this is Gail with Beaded Jewelry Diva, and today we are going to take the cuff bracelet that we made a few projects back and we're going to embellish it. And this is using a combination of just wrapping your wire and also doing some finer gauge work. We'll use some beads in this. I will show you how to make the loops. I will show you how to end it. I will show you what to do if you run out of wire in the middle of the project. I hope you'll enjoy this particular video. If you do, please give it a thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more videos on wire wrapping in general, or wire weaving, I should say, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up as well, or leave me a comment. Meanwhile, let's see what we need to do to create this particular project. Here's what you need for this particular project. You'll need some 20 gauge wire, some 26 gauge wire, 28, 24 might work too. You'll need a pair of flush cutters, a pair of pliers. I'm using the chain nose, but you can use regular pliers if you want to too. A regular flat nose, I should say. I have some beads here. I have some 3mm and 4mm beads, and you will also need your bangle bracelet that you created in your other project. Starting with probably a little bit more than a foot of the wire. Now you really should probably start with like 2 feet of wire, but I'm going to show you on a smaller section because in case you run out of wire while you're doing this, I will show you how to fix that. Alright, so I've got this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to create a kind of a gentle curve just with my hands. You can use round nose pliers if you want to, but I don't bother. Okay, so I've got this, and what I want to do is I want to bend it over the bracelet. So I'm bending it over the cuff, and then I have it coming back up. So it looks kind of like this. Yep, looks funky. So what I want to do now is I'm going to leave this funky looking thing right here just because I will show you how to fix things like that as well. I'm going to take some beads. I think I'm going to grab some 3mm beads, and it's wonderful, this 20 gauge wire. You can put all kinds of things on. Can I say small holes? Alright, so I've got some beads, and I'm just going to go ahead and lay them on top and pull my wire to the back. And this is where it's great to have a cuff with an open back like this. Okay, so far we've got that. Now, I'm going to go ahead and go to the other side, and this time I'm just going to put my finger down and then just twist. I'm going to form a little loop. So get that centered a little bit more, and then loop around some more. Hopefully I'm not getting you dizzy. Then I'm going to take one 4mm bead and string it on the wire. Hopefully you won't spend the entire video watching me trying to string beads. Okay, so I've got it on. Now I'm going to wrap it to the back again. Now at this point you can see that it looks like practically nothing. That's okay because it's going to start looking like something very soon. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and concentrate mostly on this side for right now. So what you can do is you can make arches like that and then make them go back in the opposite direction like this. After every move or so like that, I wrap it to the back to keep it secure. If things aren't secure, I will show you how to take care of that as well. But let's just go ahead and continue wrapping. Now you can use as many beads or as few beads as you care to on this. And if it goes above the wire, that's fine. And here's where sometimes pliers can come in handy. Alright, wrap to the back. And you can see I'm running out of wire. I got a lot of bracelet left. But like I said, I started with a shorter length of wire so I could show you what happens if you run out of wire. Okay, so you can see that I've pretty much got this side done. And now we've got to go ahead and finish up this side. We've got to add a piece of wire. What I've done is I've created a little spiral in this piece of wire, 26 or the 20 gauge wire. And I'm just going to lay it on like this and then wrap it. I will end up securing this wire because you can see that it wants to move. Temporarily we can secure it by holding it down like this and then really pulling on the long piece of wire and wrapping once around. That'll temporarily secure it. But we'll want to come around later on and do a little bit more securing on this to make sure it doesn't move. So that is how you go ahead and add new wire. So let's go ahead, do a little bit more. I will go ahead and finish up this piece, and we're going to come back. I'm going to show you how I tie it off, how I end it and secure it, and then do whatever it is I want to do to some of these parts that I don't quite like. Okay, so I've reached the end and I need to go ahead and finish off this piece of wire. So I have a few options. One of them is I can just go ahead and go straight down into this piece, which actually I could do, and then just wrap it around. Another way would be to go over this piece and then wrap it through. Whoops, probably just got you out of camera there. So I'm wrapping it through. And we've got it looking like that, which I don't like, but that's okay because this is wire and we can fix it. So what do I not like about it? Practically everything. There we go. I like that better. So what I did is I pulled it more. So you can see how, so I pulled it more. Now what I'm going to do is I think I want to kind of mimic this part of it. So I'm going to create a curve going this way. And let's see. I'm going to wrap back around one more time, wrap this up, and then I'm going to hide my end underneath the beads. Okay, so we've got this. I'll probably take a little bit more time to smooth that out some. But I've got this. Now what to do about the parts that I'm not particularly crazy about, like this part and this part. What to do if I want to add more beads, and what other options do I have with this. Something I forgot to mention earlier in supplies, you can use a T-pin, you can use an awl, you can use an open safety pin. What you need is something that you can use to wiggle in between the wires so that you can make a large enough hole to slip your 26 gauge wire through. If you can tell, let me see if I can bring it up closer, I have a very, very tight weave. So in order to get my 26 gauge wire through, I'm going to have to create little spaces like right here. So what I do is I take the tip of my pin and just kind of poke it through. That way I can take my 26 gauge wire, that way I can be in focus when I take my 26 gauge wire and put it through. So I've got some 26 gauge wire on this side, and then in order to secure this loop, what I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap around a few times, maybe 3 to 5 times. How about I just do 3 so you don't have to keep watching me do this. So I've gone around 3 times. Now I've got to look for a way to secure it to either another piece of wire or somewhere down into the weave. Now, in looking at this, I think my best option is going to go through this one more time. Sorry if I smack the camera and get you shaking. And then I am going to feed this down through. So I fed the wire down through. There we go. Pull it tight. When I'm on the back, now in this particular case you can see that I've got these two wires. I really don't want to wrap them to each other. That would probably not be the best idea in the world. Let's see if I can get this in focus a little bit more. Probably not the best idea for me to just, you know, kind of do one of these things, twist ties. What I will need to do is figure out a way of getting this back up and looped in through another one of these. In order to get back up, I'm going to have to take my little trusty T-pin. I'm going to have to look for another spot, like right here. Sometimes it's just easier to do this on the table. And feed it through. I'm sorry I keep smacking the camera. I'm at a different desk today, so I've got that fed through. So you can see I fed it through. And I'm going to go ahead and see if I can't get this one through that same hole. Yes, success. Make sure that they're not going to pull it and twist it. But now I have both of these, let's see, both of these coming up from the front. So what I'm going to do is take my Tronics pliers that I never use because I'm afraid of damaging the tip. These things are expensive. But I'm going to go ahead and come in there and snip. So here's some other ideas. You can see that I did a bunch more wrapping here. I did some wrapping and I added a bead here. I did some wrapping and added a bead here. So I wrapped on this side, added the bead, and then wrapped on that side. Over here, I did some wrapping, a fair amount of wrapping, and then I went down, added 2 beads, and finished my wrapping down here. Now, this is not only decorative, but like I said, it can go ahead and secure any parts to your main cuff that look like they might snag on something or get yanked out of place. Like right now, this particular thing isn't going anywhere. I mean, it's up higher, but it's really secure in here. So this is how we go ahead and do our bracelet. Now, I'm not sure if I'm going to go through and do even more embellishments than this or leave it as is, but that's the whole part. You just kind of look at it and decide what you want to do. Now, here is another one that I did that is not quite as elaborately wrapped. And you can see that the weave on this one is much, much looser. So I really didn't even have to use my T-pin on this one. I was able to get the 26 gauge wire in between the wraps just fine. So that's another idea. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this video, and if you have, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my YouTube channel if you don't already do so, and never miss another video. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I hope you'll be with me for more wrapping and more of other kinds of videos as well. This is Gail signing off, saying have yourself a great day. Bye.